Hello everyone. In this session, I will discuss regarding the pandas, which is very important for the machine learning implementation. Pandas is basically one of the tool in machine learning which is used for cleansing and analyzing the data. It has many features which are used for exploring, cleansing, transforming and visualizing from data. Now you can see from this image that here a large amount of data is available with us. Now this from this large amount of data we need some small amount of data for particular working of the model. Now to load that data for according to the requirement we use the pandas. For manipulating that data we use the pandas. For processing and analyzing of that data we need pandas. So it is very important while working on the machine learning you need to know the pandas concept. Let's move to the pandas data structures. Now panda data structures basically are of three types. One is series, second is data frame and third is panel. Data structure means where we store the data in pandas. First, series. Series are the homogeneous collection of data, means it always store the same type of data always. Like you can see there is a integer type of data and it is in the form of one dimensional array. Similarly here you can see data is in a string form and like the apple, and it also a one dimensional array. Now let's move to the data frame. Data frame is basically the two-dimensional array and it store the or contain the heterogeneous type of data. Like here you can see this is the table which contain the number of rows and columns, and data in this is a string and the number. It contain the different types of data. So it is a frame where in series data is of same type. This is a one series, this is another series. The data is of same type and this is a one dimensional. Okay, now you can also see here this is the one series. Data is of the integer type only. This is another series. The data is also integer type and of the same type. But whenever there are number of rows and columns are more than one dimensional, then it becomes the data frame. Now next comes the panel. Panel is basically is also used to store the heterogeneous type of data. It is hard to represent panel in a graphical representation because it always represent in form of the 3D. You can see here also there is the index, different index, and there is a different data and which represent the another values also. Now in this session I am going to implement the various functions of the pandas, like how we can create a series and data frames, how we can create a series from the n-dimensional array, how we can create a series from dictionary, and how we can read or write the data into or from the file. Then afterwards I will discuss the various attributes like shape, head method, that is also an attribute also, tail, describe. These methods I am going to implement through the ID. Let's move to the ID now. I am using the spider for implementing the pandas. Whenever I want to work on any package, first you have to import that package. I am writing here the import. I want to work on pandas, so I will write the pandas. Okay. As I had discussed with you, I want to import the data from the num array also, numpy also. So I have to write here import numpy as np. Now let's make one variable which contain the data in the array form. Here I am taking the two variables. Here I will take three variables. Okay, three values you can see here. This is our n-dimensional array. This is our n-dimensional array. Now here I am taking the one variable to display that data, or we want to store the data. Now this array, this data I want to convert into the series, into the one dimensional series. I want to convert into the pandas. So I will write here the series S should be capital, then afterwards start the brackets, and I want to write the data. Okay, I want to convert this data. Now print within the brackets, write the example. Now you can see in the variables there is nothing. When I will run this code, you can see. Let's run this code, then you can see. Let's execute the code. It is taking time. Yes, you can see that there is a data 0A 1 B 2 C 0 1 2 3. Now in the variable case you can see also data. First is data. Data is the variable which store the data of the array, that is in the form of numpy. Num module is here. Secondly, then you had convert that data into the series, and example is the form of the series. In this way you had converted the data from the n-dimensional array to the series. Now next, let's convert the data from the dictionary to the series. Let's create a series from dictionary. Now again, here I am going to make the dictionary. Column, the value of that dictionary, and the key value pair, then comma, within the single quotes write the another value, and then take the another value, then comma, again single, within the single quotes I am taking the another value. Okay, here there is a need of comma also, and then colon value 2. Okay, this is the dictionary. Now this dictionary I want to convert into the series. Now let's run this code first. Yeah, now you can see here it has converted the dictionary into the series. Let's move to the variables part now. Now you can see data is in the type of the dictionary, and we had stored it in the series form. Now let's make the data frame. Data frame, again data frame, if I want to make the data frame from list, I am going to make the list. There is one list. Okay, here I am taking the list, and from this list I can want to make the data frame. I want to make the data frame here, and the variable name I am taking here is a list. Okay, let's run this code now. Yes, you can see here there is a list 0 1 1 2 3 4, and this is an index, and this is the one column. And let's move to the variable explore. List is the variable we have taken, and the type of data is the list and that, and example is now data frame. We had changed the series into the data frame. Okay, similarly we can also specify the values, like here it is representing with 0. I want to change it with the roll number. Then just write here comma columns is equal to, within the square brackets I want to write a roll number. Okay. Suppose I want to write a roll number. Okay. Just run the code now. You can see here. It will display the roll number. Now we can also take the data in the form of dictionary, and that data can be converted into the data frame also. Let's take the data in the form of dictionary and then convert that data into the data frame. I'm going to take the dictionary. There is the one variable is equal to, now within the curly bracket I'm going to write the name variable first. Within that name, going to provide the values like Tom, comma, Anil. Within the square bracket, within the angular, I am giving the two values type. And one more column I want to specify, like age I want to specify. Within the single quotes I have to specify it, colon, then within the square brackets specify the age, or like this. Now I have provided the specific name, so I have to given here also name, one name, comma, second I have to give the, what is the second name, that is the, within the single, that is the age. Okay, now let's run this code. There is an error. What is an error? Okay, there is error. Now error is shape implies, means here we have written the list and we are taking the variable data, so I have to change the name just, and then run the code. Now you can see here we have provided the names with and the age to particular column. Similarly we can able to provide this index value also. We can also change the index value by just writing the word comma index equal to, and within the square brackets write single quotes rank 1, then comma, within single quotes rank 2. Okay, now let's run the code. Let's run the, you can see here rank 1 and rank 2. In this way we can able to change the index value also. We can also change the column name also by using the concept of the pandas. Now let's read the data from the file. I want to read the data from the file. Okay, whenever I want to read the data from the file, I have to use the pd to dot read underscore csv function, and then within that write the name of the file. Here I am also taking the one variable to fetch the data and want to display the data on the screen. Here I am writing the print data. Okay, now before going, let's fetch the data into our file. I am going to the file variable. Here I have the data, the data. Let's open this data.csv. This type of data is available with me. You can download any type of data from the Kaggle or from the Super Data Science. Now you can see there is the file of array of strings data.csv. Now here I will write the data.csv. Let's run this code. Now you can see in the console the data which is present in the file. You can, this is the data which is present in the file. You can able to fetch the data on the output screen with the help of the read.csv. In this way you can able to read the data. Now if I want to reshape. I want to view the shape of this data. I want to view the shape of this data. I will just write here data dot shape. Okay, but I have to print the use the print word also. Data. Now let's run the code. You can see the data is this and the shape of this is the number of rows and the number of columns. This represents the number of rows and the number of columns. You can also check the dimension of this data by writing this and dimension. N. I have to write N also. What is the 2? 2 represent n dimensional. Okay. Suppose I want to view the data only for specific first 5. Then there is the one method, one function, that is dot head. If I want to view only first 2 values, I'm going to remove this. Okay. I want to fetch the only first 2 values of the head. Head represent to view only particular values. So you can see now first 2 values will be displayed on your output screen. If I will remove any value from this, now you can see the output. It will display the first 5 values. By default, if I am using the head, it will display first 5 values. Now I can also want to view the values from last part. Then I have to use the head to view the last rows of the table, of the particular table. Then I will use here. Now you can see last values will be displayed on your output screen by using the tail. Similarly, there is a one more function like the describe. As a attribute, we will also use it. Describe. It will describe the whole detail. Means it will describes basically used for the numerical data, for the integer data only. Describe used to calculate some statistical datas like percentile, like the mean, standard, ye mean, standard, min, 25% will be calculated of the integer type of data by using the describe. Okay. If I want to check the data type, if I want to check the data type, D types. Now let's see. You can see it will just give you the information regarding the first columns. That means this column will store this type of data, this column will store this type of data, and like this floating values and the object, mean the combination. Okay. If I will write here AS type, if I write here the AS type, then what will happen? Okay, error is AS types. No, types is not type. Now you can see here it has changed the type of the data. Type of data can be changed only of integer type. So first it is the integer type. Now it is converted into the floating values. Okay, in this way I can able to change the values within the frame. I can able to make the data frame. I can able to fetch the data from the file which is present on our systems. Now if I want to fetch the data of some particular column, then I have just write name of the variable dot which column I want to fetch, the data of which column I want to fetch, write the column name, and suppose if I want to fetch only some particular values, then I will write head. Here let's write here print also with this. Okay, now I'm going to make it. You can see here it will display only the particular values, particular column values you want to fetch. Now there is one function, there is one method, that is the iloc. Example, data dot iloc. Iloc means location, represent the 0 colon comma 5, means I want to display all the rows. You can see here. Now let's print this command first. From the output I will explain you the concept. Let's see, here I have taken the 5, and 5 is out of the bond because our columns are only up to the 0 to 3, so I can only able to write up to the 3. Okay, suppose I want to fetch the column third, so it will display the values of the column third. Now I will provide display the data. You can see here is the data 0 1 2 3. 3's are there, so I can only able to write the values between the 0 to 3. And if I write here 2, then the output will be, you can see it will display this and all the rows, and 0 represent that I want to select all the rows of particular column. In this way, suppose if I write here, like if I write here 2 and if I write here colon, then if I write here 2 and the colon, I'm removing the head method from here. Now you can see, let's make it comment, so yeah, that you can all, I'm going to erase this part so that you can able to understand. Now you can see it had started from the second row up to all the columns, second row and all the columns. Okay, in this way you can able to select the particular rows or columns. You can also write like this 0 colon 3 comma 1 comma 1 also. You can see, you can also write like this also. You can see the output, it will display 0 3. First is the 0 and 1. This is the one column, this is the details of the first column. It will display the details from 0 to 2. 3 is always excluded, means 0 1 2 3 will be displayed. In this way some particular data can be fetched, so that we can analyze on that data, so that we can do the filtering of that data. This is the very important while working with the machine learning. Okay students, that's all from my side. Thank you everyone.